reinforcement, okay? Positive reinforcement, whereas opposed to causative contact, which was vague, positive reinforcement is very specific. All right, what we want to do is we want to catch those students doing the right thing, and we want to deliver those 4-to-1 rule. Okay, remember when we talked about the 4-to-1 rule, what we're talking about is if you have to do a positive reinforcement with a student who maybe has been struggling, all right, you've had to do a redirection, you've had to redirect his behavior or her behavior, all right, you want to follow up and make sure that you're doing at least 4 positive reinforcements. Now, in the video that we watched, they talked about doing 4 positive reinforcements for just that student, connected to that one negative reinforcement. I personally feel like that was a lot, especially in a day to do, and it would feel forced. So my advice is to do it more so as a whole class, you know, because the reality is if a student has done, you definitely want to give that student some positive reinforcement when they have gotten back into line. So case in point, if little Sally has been having trouble because she's always running out of the cafeteria into her next class instead of walking in a line, the first day after you've redirected Sally and said, hey, is that being safe? No, let's talk about what it means to be safe. We walk. Yes, okay. When you've had that redirection, the first time you see Sally walk, you want to then have a positive reinforcement. You want to catch them when they're doing the right thing, right? But then maybe the next 3 positive reinforcements will be other students who are also walking well in the line to reinforce it that way instead of, 4 positive reinforcements with Sally right there. You understand? So mix it up. Make it, whereas I think if it has more, that one student doesn't feel like they're being overly focused on, a lot of times that'll help to build trust as well. And they'll still get the same effect if you do it properly, if you're using specificity when you talk about why you're giving them the reinforcement. You can't just say good job. You have to say good job for walking, good job for being safe and walking from this point to point. This is the thing I see most staff members struggle with. I have to tell you, when I come out for site visits, they don't get that aspect of it has to be specific. You just get a lot of good jobs, a lot of high fives, a lot of handshakes, which are all great. Those are all really great examples of positive contact and also positive contact, right? Nonverbal and verbal. But for positive reinforcement, you want to reinforce the positive behavior, all right? Reinforce the positive behavior. And as I said, you want to do it with groups as well as the individuals. It doesn't have to be just that student, right? You can do positive reinforcement for an entire group. I really appreciate the way this table is raising their hand today every time we put we ask a question. That's a great way to let everyone know that this is the proper behavior. And it could address little Juan yesterday who wasn't raising his hand. Now he hears a positive reinforcement, and you can help him with positive reinforcement when you see him raising his hand, all right? So you kind of have to be always kind of studying the classroom, seeing what's going on, and making it your effort, making a sincere effort to catch students doing the right thing. Stop focusing so much on students doing the wrong thing and really start focusing on catching them doing the right thing. And hopefully over time, that shift will be, you'll see more and more kids doing the right things and less students doing the wrong thing, right? Also be sensitive to their need for privacy. Not every student likes to be addressed in certain ways. Not every student likes to be kind of called out. And you want to make sure that you're kind of honoring that in a way that they're not going to feel like, oh my God, they're always picking on me, or this is uncomfortable.